mad scientists and lab rats. As these midterms approach, midterm elections, one way of looking at America's current disaster is that we, the American people, were mere lab rats. And since 21, the left were the mad scientists, eager to try out their crackpot bullshit leftist experiments on us. Fuck. Results. Here we go with the results. Result is that the housing market is tottering on the verge of collapse. As those interest rates soar, setting a, 15-year record? It's a while. Our $31 trillion national debt crowds out everything else in the budget. Inflation roars at a rate of somewhere between 8 and 10% per annum, higher than any time in the last 40 years, and we all know that it's higher than that. Yet the prices of stuff of life, food, fuel, shelter, energy, are far steeper still than the official rate. Just look at the gas price. No one is safe from thugs anymore. Whether a commuter on a New York subway or the Pelosi's in Pacific Heights. Not feeling bad about that. Wish you would have been there. Country reportedly has a 25-day supply of diesel fuel, and that was a week ago when they said that. So, and that's the energy source that runs the nation. Meanwhile, we keep draining the SPR, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve of Oil, so Joe can buy some votes. And this is a commodity that we have in abundance but refuse to produce. We never fixed the supply chain crisis of last year, and so still face shortages of key consumer goods. Just go to your local supermarket. There are empty shelves here and there. Stuff that you used to be able to get, it's not there anymore. The labor participation rate is at a multi-decade low, given the COVID subsidies. The appeal of staying home makes sense, right? After the lockdowns, hell, I'm still getting paid. Get all this money, paid me twice as much as I was making when I was actually out there. So millions of workers are still long COVID. Playing the odds. The post-Kabul Pentagon is quiet about the depletion of its critical stocks of weaponry, guns, bombs. We have sent billions of dollars worth in guns and bombs and howitzers and javelin missiles and artillery stuff to Ukraine without replenishing our own arsenals. And who wants to be in the military anymore? The Army's recruitment rate is 50% off. Imagine the quality they're getting at this point. How the hell are those guys going to fucking win any wars? Our broken Navy is ossifying as China expands its fleet, getting ready to take Taiwan. When we look to the president for an explanation for these madcap anti-American experiments. We get nothing, which is probably good. Can't stand listening to him anyway. In the last few weeks, the prez has lied and said gas was $5 a gallon when he took office. It was $2.50. Just fucking flat out lied. He falsely swears that he passed his student loan amnesty plan by a couple votes. When he didn't pass a student amnesty plan through Congress, he just fucking executed an executive order. So now the carpenters and the plumbers and the cooks and the waitresses and everybody else is paying the student loans of people like AOC and Ilhan Omar. How do you like that? How are them apples? How do you like them apples? And that, what's her name? It's been so long since I've seen her. I don't even, that, our VP, well, what was it? Kamala. Yeah, right, Kamala Harris. The border czar, alleged border czar. She has never fucking seen the border. Thank God she stays out of sight, man. She's a fucking mess. She's a fucking mess. And that cackling fucking laugh of hers. Jesus Christ. She didn't suck Willie Brown's dick back in the 90s. She would be a nobody. She'd be typing into a fucking old typewriter somewhere in some government building in a cubicle. But suck enough dicks, man, you can make it big. But then you have to hide because people start to realize, well, she doesn't seem that smart. Oh, and as the country depletes our petroleum reserves from the SPR, she gusses about solutions when she does come out of her fucking Kamala cave, like transforming the nation's school bus fleet to battery power. So we're going to take all those diesel buses, which we're going to have to do something here. We actually do run out of diesel or get a little bit lower. And we're going to make them all magically. We're just going, all right, they're all now run by batteries. Yep, Elon, get out the batteries. Put some batteries in this. Put some batteries in the buses, okay? Oh, man. And when they let her go abroad, she talks about North Korea being our ally. That one kills me. She doesn't even know the fucking difference between South Korea and North Korea. And she is the VP of the United States of America. Oh man, we're fucked. So now we're headed into the midterm election. And these radical leftists who can't defend any of the stuff they've done to the average American are still talking about how wonderful they are. And they're unwilling to change any of the policies they've implemented. For example, what is it now? 2, 3, 4 million people. Who knows how many, right? You got the ones they stopped. You got the gotaways. So it's got to be somewhere between probably 3 and 4 million now people that have gotten across the border once they shut down the border patrol and opened the gate. And all they do is they just keep implementing the same stuff, closing down pipelines, stopping drilling for oil. And they complain. And while they're doing nothing, well, they're doing everything to fuck the average American, but and then they go down to the prison and they say, "Warden, give me the key. Let me have that key." They walk over to the prison door and they insert the key and they turn it and they open it up and they say, "Hey fellas, come on out and go fuck somebody up. Go murder somebody. Go steal something. No bail. If you want, you can come back sometime and we'll go to court, but there you go." Meantime, the rest of us are paying whatever the hell it is, 8, 9, 10, 20% more for everything. 50% more for gas. And they got no solutions for anything. So, here we go with the elections. And this is going to be an election that will determine whether America is worth saving. I guess. I mean, they could cheat and steal it, but given everything that's going on, I don't see how people could not be paying enough attention to just eliminate the Democrat Party. No, man, even the Democrats running for governorships, what do they call that? Gubernatorial. Yeah, there's no talking about any of that stuff. Meanwhile, Biden just continues to lie and hide. I mean, this is an America that was absolutely unimaginable. So if the Democrats, you got two outcomes here. If the Democrats manage to hang on to most of their seats, well, we're fucked because of that. But even more importantly, we're fucked because Americans weren't smart enough to realize who did what. This is a mess. Thank God I'm old. Thank God I'm old. This place is a mess. But we'll see. We'll see what the mad scientists do to us lab rats here. Maybe the lab rats are going to take over the lab. And we're going to put those fucking mad scientists in little cages. Start injecting them with things. What a fucking mess. Oh, and one of those things that really gets me. And it's men. Men in women's sports. Now, as a universal, not all men are faster or bigger or stronger than all women. I know that because I swam hard for 10 years and there were still women that could easily outswim me. But in general, well, why is that a good idea? All right, I'll stop here. We got to get men out of women's sports, though.